What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to be doing some event dungeon today. I've looked at a bunch of different variations of teams just because, I don't know, this event dungeon just seems a lot easier than the last event dungeon that we had. The boss has some pretty solid minions around him, all very faction specific. They even have a faction unity champ in there that's very annoying, but there's a ton of things that you can do to actually get this boss down. A lot of different variations, a lot of free champions that we have gotten, or fusion champions that can be used, as you can see by this lineup I have in here at the moment: Marius, Ancora, Geomancer, Hugo, Fabian. I think Fabian is an amazing champion for this dungeon, so even if you don't use any of the variations that I show in this video, bring in a Fabian. Bring in a lockout champion of some sort. This guy has so much control in his kit that why not? If you're a light spent player, free to play player, Fabian is gonna help you out a ton. Geomancer gonna help you out a ton. Hugo gonna help you out a ton in here. So just to go in, show you a run of kind of how this team works. This isn't the team that I'm actually running. This team is a bit slower, but we'll get onto that in a bit. So how it works: we have Fabian going first for us. He's going to put out, he didn't reset the faction unity champ, but he's going to be resetting for us, as well as putting up true fears, putting up petrification, trying to make sure that our team can do what it needs to do. But as you can see there, we didn't lock him out, which is problematic. Ancora is going to cleanse anything that comes from that. So if you don't lock out on the first chance, you don't proc true fear or what have you from the Fabian, this is what our Ancora is in here to do. She's in stone skin just to clean that off of us, get everything off of us, and then we can continue with the run. Now, we did have our turn meter dropped here, so it kind of throws off things a bit, but nonetheless, the comp should still do what it needs to do. So we're going to have Geomancer put up HP burn on the boss for us. We're going to have Hugo place block buffs so the boss isn't gaining a ton of buffs. We've got Marius just doing some damage for us, and we're going to get damage from Geomancer's passive as well. Now, somebody you can bring in that kind of help out with this heal that the boss gets from, what's her face here? Right here. Her passive is healing the boss. You can bring in a Ramontu to kind of help out with that. But otherwise, pretty straightforward comp, right? We're mostly getting damage from Geomancer. He obviously needs to be a bit tanky. We have a cleanser in there, and Ancora and Reviver. Her A1 also has a reset on it, so she's going to be able to reset the cooldowns of some champs, as well as her revive has a cooldown on it. So this is a solid comp to use, especially if you don't have a bunch of crazy meta champs. There's obviously 3-second comps, 5-second comps that works, but this comp works very, very solidly. So some alternatives that I tried out, you can obviously bring in Sulfurion in here. You can bring in Newt in here. You can bring in Acrizia in here. I kind of like using Harima in here as well, just to help out, because the boss ignores a lot of defense. This guy ignores defense, destroys defense. He's stealing buffs from you and ignoring more defense, ignoring shields, ignoring block damage if he's under veil, which is why getting that block buffs up with Hugo just kind of makes things a bit easier for you, so the boss doesn't get that veil and doesn't start to ignore more defense. And your shields help out a ton in here with the damage mitigation. So there's a few champs that you could bring in here. Obviously, you could bring in Yumiko, Warlord, Crixia. Even if you have Basher, you could bring in a Basher in this spot here to just lock out at the start to make sure that these champs aren't getting their skills off, because once they start rolling, you're going to get provoked by Harima unless you bring in a block buffs champ. This guy's doing true fears. You've got lockouts over here, instant turns, decreased speed, decreased turn meter, ally protection, block damage, heals from passive. There's a lot going on here. So block buffs, decrease defense, lockout, some sort of CC. I also tried with Armand's, but I kind of like Fabian a bit better in here. Armand's can still strip for you. He can still, stun for you AoE, but as long as this faction unity champ is alive, you're not going to be able to decrease turn meter at all. So you're not really getting the most of Armand's here. So I really like Fabian in this spot. He works out very well. I also tried out Lamasu in this spot. It's kind of rough because you can't control who she resets, even though it's not that big a deal. She will place True Fear and block buffs for you. And then you could potentially replace this Yugo with someone else that will place decreased defense for you and maybe bring in something else beneficial. I've seen people also using Calvalaxes in there to just put the poisons up to kill the minions on the side, and then you slowly kill the boss down. So that is, one way or a few variations of ways that you can actually go about completing this boss. So I'll show you guys the presets really quickly for this team in particular, and any variation you bring in is going to follow the same suit. You want your lockout control champion pretty much going first, because if you touch this faction unity champ at all, things just start to get crazy. So whenever an enemy takes a turn, this guy's gonna get turn meter boost, right? And it's gonna get ugly after that, because he's gonna true fear you. He's gonna start doing damage. It's just a host of things that you don't want to happen are gonna start to happen. So you want to control them first, absolutely. Otherwise, it's just very ugly from there. So whoever you substitute for Fabian, they also ideally need to go first. So Fabian is actually not in the preset, but he's going to follow exactly what we want to do. He's going to go ahead and open with this first and then use this second. He does it automatically. You don't have to set it. Yugo going to open up with the block buffs, decrease defense. And Korra, I'm actually opening with her A1 because she's a bit slower than almost everyone else in this comp other than the Marius. We're going to open with her A1 so we can potentially get a cooldown reset on one of our champs, because a reset here for anyone helps. It helps everyone. Geomancer getting a cooldown helps everybody. Everybody in this lineup, it helps. And then we're going to prioritize her shield. Geomancer, actually no, I don't want to. I want to open with this. Actually, let's open with that in case we get fears, in case we don't get the reset. So we need to actually open with her cleanse. Sorry. Geomancer, we're going to be, prioritizing the HP burn, of course. And Marius, I like to prioritize his AoE and not this skill, just because I have mine in Merciless. So he gets a lot of cooldown. So I always prioritize this first, and then the extra turn skill second. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. No matter who you swap out, this is what you want to follow. Now, as far as the gear that's actually on these champions, like I said, my Marius is in Merciless. He is 252 speed and Merciless. He's got a little bit of accuracy. So once he has increased accuracy, he's actually able to land his Enfeeble, which helps us out a bit, because we're going to be getting turn meter reduction on us, and his passive is going to kick in a bunch. He's going to be counterattacking a bunch to help get that Enfeeble up. Helps out a ton. Make sure you can stay alive a little bit longer. Geomancer, if you choose to use him, mine is in regen at the moment. We've got a blood shield ring on him so that he can be putting a shield up. You can also bring in a shield champ like I did. We have Ancora. Sulfurion is a solid option, even though not the best option, because Sulfurion's HP burn could potentially override Geomancers. We've got the golden elixir on him at the moment, and emergency heal for the blessing so that he's, constantly sustaining himself. As far as the masteries, these are, standard masteries on him, pretty much for PvE down into War Master. Pretty sure you guys got these masteries already. What did I show first? Marius. I can go and show the Marius masteries. These are his masteries down into Helm Smasher down here behind my head. We've got Kill Streak. We've got Methodical down into Helm Smasher. A little bit of accuracy from the support tree, and just trying to get as many just boosts to him as we can with Lore of Steel and whatnot. We've got Soul Reap on him until I get that 6-star. I'm not changing it, and we have a Cat's Gaze on him at the moment. As far as Yugo, Yugo's in Relentless right now with 308 speed, so want to make sure we get the block buffs up and the decreased defense up early before Marius starts to go in. 554 accuracy, no relic at the moment. Cruelty for the blessing. Here are the masteries. Still don't have full masteries on this champ. Down to War Master T6. Got some extra heals over here and accuracy from the support tree. No relic, like I said before. And Ancora is in Stone Skin at the moment. Stone Skin and Bolster. Actually, this is a very, very old build. I haven't touched it in a long time. This was back when I was trying to use her in Arena. So she's got decent HP and defense, 276 speed, a little bit of resist. These things aren't necessary. As long as you have her in Stone Skin and she can go after the faction unity champ goes to cleanse your team. If you do get True Fear, that is fine. She just needs 4 pieces of Stone Skin, and she needs to be able to stay alive to keep your team alive. She has a Gilded Dragonstone on. Ideally, I would like to go with something different. You could use an aspect of Seraph to, you know, give her a bit more sustainability, but we do want her taking turns, so we don't want to decrease her turn meter too much. A solid option would be Golden Elixir. We could slap a Golden Elixir on her. That way she just is getting a heal whenever she drops below 50% HP. I have Polymorph on her. Like I said, this an old PvP build. I didn't really put any effort into building her for this. This is the masteries that we have on her: support and defense, increase the size of her shields and whatnot. Give her some turn meter boost whenever an ally drops below 25% HP. Pretty straightforward build there. And last but not least, we're going to have Fabian, who I actually stole gear from another champ for to make this build. He's in a supersonic build at the moment. This is not his actual gear because his actual gear sucked. So 327 speed, 583 accuracy. Simple. We just want to go in, lock them out, place the True Fears and Petrification. If anybody doesn't get True Fear, he's going to go hit him and smack him with Petrification. I love it. It's great. It's perfect for this. He's got a Hand of Uncreation on at the moment just to give him some more accuracy. It's not all the way maxed out, and he doesn't even have masteries. You can tell I don't use this champion that much, or maybe I've just been very conservative with my resources, but that's pretty much how it's going to go. And anybody that you swap into here, you're going to be looking to do similar things. As I said before, this control champion needs to absolutely go first, just to make sure that we have a lock on things, because once you start to take a turn, if 2 champions take a turn and you haven't controlled anything, all of this starts to fall apart because of the passives of Tetsuya. So Tetsuya is pretty much all of these passives, all of these skills that he has for, you know, Shadowkin faction, absolutely going to destroy you. So you want to make sure that you are controlling the boss first. Get you a cleanser, someone that can come in and Stone Skin after, potentially cleanse True Fears if you get them up on you. You know, if you get block active skills on you, all these things that are going to happen if you do not control some sort of damage, right? Geomancer can be replaced, as I said. Marius, you can remove him for another enemy max HP champ, but very useful. And you go for block buffs as well as decreased defense. Very useful. There's a few champs that you can substitute, like I said before. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What are you using? Are you even running stage 30? Be sure to like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, guys, be good and be well.